Hey, welcome everyone to Pop-Up Yoga. Feel free to grab your mat, your water bottle. We've got Catherine Cormier here. It was her birthday yesterday. She'll be our student, and we'll do it via the phone here. We have some issues with the computer. So, need a couple of things. And we'll get a little table guy.
Right. Yeah, remove the beautiful flowers first.
All right. Get sure you're in the screen cap.
I'll make sure.
You there?
I'm
You
staying
wanna-
off my,
the couch is there. Why don't you stand there? Yeah.
just taking off my,
This floor.
me
is
on my
nice.
yoga clothes.
I like this wood floor for the yoga.
Hmm?
I like this wood floor for the yoga.
Yeah, it's nice wood floor.
All right. So here, welcome to Pop-Up Yoga, Happy Hour Yoga. Here's Kathy, and let's get going. So grind it down through your feet. Hands find the heart. Relax shoulders. Long through all sides of the neck with a soft tuck of the chin. I'll invite you to bring your attention inward as we watch our breath as it flows in and as it flows out. Arriving here on our yoga mats or on our yoga floor, ready for an afternoon yoga practice. From this place of just watching your breath, I invite you to shape your breath with a long, slow inhalation, matched by a long, slow exhalation. As you breathe in, full body breath, bringing the air to the top of the chest, the base of the belly, filling up each side waist, filling up both front and back planes of your body. And as you breathe out, either keeping the belly soft and letting the air whoosh out, or adding a constriction of the low belly in and up towards the heart to squeeze a little more air out. To this, I'll invite you to find your Ujjayi ocean breath, a slight constriction of the base of the throat, adding a slight sound and feel to your breath. And as you flow through our practice this afternoon, letting the sound and feel of your breath be a focus for your practice, always coming back to the sound and feel of your breath as it flows in and out, often compared to the sounds of the ocean as the waves wash in and as the waves wash out. To this Ujjayi ocean breath, finding Jiva Bandha, tip of the tongue to the hard palate just behind the teeth, trying to keep that connection throughout the practice, keeping our jaws relaxed and connecting front and back planes of your body. Finally, with your lips closed, adding a slight smile to your face, opening up the front of your throat so your breath has lots of room to circulate, refresh, and revitalize. Keeping all this, hands by our side. I'll invite you to inhale the arms up and over the head as we warm up our shoulders. Exhaling, hands by our side. 2 more times like this. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, hands back down. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, arms down. Adding a forward fold. Inhaling, arms up. On the exhale, leading with the heart as we fold. Take a breath to find length, lifting chin and tail. On the exhale, folding again. Inhaling, riding the breath up, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. 2 more times like this. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out, finding your forward fold. Inhaling, riding the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. 1 more time to go. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out, folding again. Inhaling, riding the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. So Namaskar A, with or without vinyasa. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out, grounding on down, either finding your down dog or cycling through vinyasa as you find yoga push-up. Inhaling into up dog or down, up dog or cobra, and then exhaling back to down dog. Welcome, Aaron. Welcome, Richard. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to ground down solidly through all 5 fingers. Lots of space between each finger. And then finding a particular emphasis between the thumb and the forefinger as we draw the energy up from the floor. Shoulders engaged into letting the neck relax and the head be super, super heavy or long through all sides of the neck as you look back towards your knee. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step or take a jump. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, right in the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. Second one just like the first. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through chaturanga, inhaling into up dog or cobra, and then exhaling back, or just stretching straight back. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to bring your attention to the base of your throat. From that place, listening and feeling as your Ujjayi breath flows in, and as your Ujjayi breath flows out. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step, or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling, right in the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. Let's do one Surya Namaskar B. Inhaling into our chair pose, knees over toes, hands over head. On the exhale, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up, we'll invite you to find a little back bend at the top, open heart, open throat, whoops. And then a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length, and then breathing out back to down dog, as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Awesome, nice, beautiful. From down dog, flow style, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky for the 3-legged dog. On the exhale, looking between the hands, bringing that right foot on through, landing it lightly, spinning the back heel down, finding your warrior 1, arms up and over the head. And then on the exhale, back to low lunge as we spin that back heel up. And then from low lunge, back to down dog, as you will. Take your time. You don't always have to do the vinyasa. Nice, Kathy. From down dog, second side. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Left leg high to the sky, high on the right toes. And then looking between the hands, bringing that left foot on through. Landing it lightly, spinning the back heel down, arms up and over the head. And then on the exhale, back to low lunge. And then back to down dog, as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Finding your breath, finding your flow, whatever is right and good for you. Always listening to your body and then respecting what your body has to say. From down dog, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step. Or take a jump front. Awesome. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, fold. On the inhale, stay low. We'll come back to our chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, neutral spine. Hands by our side. I'll invite you to bring your hands to the heart. A light press of the thumb against the sternum as we line up each finger. As your weight collects in your feet. relaxing your shoulders. A slight tuck of the chin as we bring our attention back in. And then hands by our side. So step or jump our feet a little bit wider here. Fun exercise here. We can breathe the arms up to one side. On the exhale, we can bend the knees as we come through center. Inhaling, finding that other side. So exhaling, inhaling. Halfway done. Let's do one more each side. And then back to center. And hands by our side. From here, let's go a little wider with the feet. Let's make, why don't you step forward just a little bit, Catherine? A little bit more. A little bit more. It's my robot friend. Let's make two fists with the hands. We can both be right in the same plane here. Right in the same plane here. We're going to punch out with the left as we squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. We'll punch out with the right as we squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now let's do this a few times. Squeeze. And 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 squeeze. Last one each side. We're going to hold that. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Other side. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then back to center. And hands by our side. Let's bring hands on our hips as we step the feet together. And we come a little bit forward. You stay just where you are. We're going to step our left foot back. And we're going to find Warrior One prep here as we line up the heels. Why don't you go center for MCAF? Let me go sideways here. I'll be a little bit out of the picture. In our Warrior One prep, we can steer the hips front. We can bring hands to the shoulders just to relax our shoulders. We can find a clasp of the hands behind the head, open heart, open throat. And then finding a tray in front. Breathing in, straightening the front leg without locking the knee as we draw energy into our center of balance. On the exhale, offering it out as we circle the hands. And let's do this 6 times. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Halfway done. Breathing in, breathing out. Last 2, breathing in, breathing out. Last 1, breathing in. Breathing out, and I'll invite you to hold this shape as we bring the elbows back, the hands come with, feeling more stretch, more sensation in the front of the heart, more space in that thoracic spine. I'll invite you to wiggle your fingers as we keep our hands supple. From here, let's bring hand to the hip of the front leg. Let's find length on the far side as we reach up, and then reaching out. Reaching up, and then reaching out. Reaching up, and then reaching out. Halfway done. Reaching up, and then reaching out. Reaching up, and then reaching out. Now we're going to find a twist. Breathing in, reaching up. Now bending that front leg, we can start the twist with the wrist. We can slide to the elbow, either staying right here or finding your right hand. Either looking down to the floor, off to the side, or up past that top elbow with a steady yet relaxed gaze. Yoga has a lot of oppositions. A big one is that opposition between your effort and your ease. And you want to find that balance between the two. So you're not working too hard and you're not just hanging out. You're connected with your body, your mind, and your breath. So when you work these oppositions, that's the connection. As we start to tune in to ourselves, where we are right here, right now. From the twist, coming out easily as we straighten the front leg, stepping the back foot in, finding Parsvottanasana. Feel free to use that shin to ground the hands down And then melting yourself out and over that front leg, I'll invite you to relax the head and heavy the head. I'll invite you to add a little swing, a little sway, just releasing tension in the neck and shoulders. And then long through all sides of the neck as your head heavies down towards the earth, releasing any tension in the neck and shoulders, down to the crown of the head, into the earth, like a gentle rain from heaven. That tension is gone, at least for now. The earth has plenty of room to receive that tension. Moving towards revolved triangle. I'll invite you to bring right hand to the back of the sacrum, the palm faces up. We walk the other hand in, lengthening through each side waist as we turn our heart to face a straight front line. Setting that top shoulder, stretching hand high, maybe spinning your face to look up to the sky. If you start to move to other places and it's not quite right, feel free to back off. All of these shapes are for us. So finding a place to be that serves you, your body, your breath, where it is, right here, right now. Nice, beautiful variation. Coming out of our revolved triangle easily as we frame front foot with both hands. A big step back as we spin back heel up for a low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog, as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa, stretching straight back, or making another choice instead. Wherever you choose to work, breathing, watching that breath, and enjoying that reflection upon your breath. From down dog, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step. Or maybe you take a jump front. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. On the exhale, fold. On the inhale, let's come back to a chair pose. Knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up, open heart, open throat. On the exhale, neutral spine. I'll invite you to bring hands to heart. A light press of the thumb against the sternum as we line up each finger. Weight collects in your feet. Either staying right there or adding an isometric engagement as we press those palms together, elbows wide. A tuck of the chin, a tuck of the tail as we find that iron rod in the very center of ourselves. And then hands by our side. We have one more side to do, right? Yes, we do. So hands find the hips, so step right foot back as we line up the heels for Warrior One prep. Finding a length of stance that works for you this afternoon. We can bring our hands onto our shoulders just to relax those shoulders. Finding a clasp of the fingers behind the head, pressing head into the hands, open heart, open throat. And then finding that tray in front. Breathing in as we gather energy into our center of balance. Exhaling as we offer it out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. 3 more to go. Breathing in. And breathing out. Last 2, breathing in and breathing out. Last 1, breathing in and breathing out. Now holding this shape for a couple of breaths. The arms move back, the hands come with. Feeling a nice stretch across 4th and 5th chakra, heart and throat, community and communication. And again, I'll invite you to wiggle those fingers, keeping your hands supple, awakening up all the various nadis, the energy currents that move through our body. From here, hand finds the hip of the front leg. Breathing in as we find length on the far side. Breathing out as we reach, reach, reach. Breathing in as we reach up. Exhaling as we reach, reach, reach. Inhaling up. Exhaling, reach. 3 more to go. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Last one here, breathing in, reaching up. And then moving to our twist, we bend that front leg. We start with the wrist. We slide to the elbow, finding your pair of hands, either looking down to the ground, off to the side, or up past that top elbow with that mixture of effort and ease. And again, wherever you choose to work, with every breath in, finding a little more space inside yourself. With every breath out, keeping that space as you ground down through the feet and move a little deeper into the shape. One more breath here. Now coming out easily as you frame that front foot with both hands. Folding out and over that front leg, relax neck, heavy head. Just letting yourself be super, super heavy on the floor. Or in the shape. Did we do the hip thing on the first side? No. Can't remember. No, we did not.
I don't remember.
You can't remember either. I had a root canal today, so I'm a little loopy, which is okay. The yoga's making it feel a lot better. From our Parsvatanasana, our pyramid pose, finding low lunge as we step that back foot back, going longer in our stance. And then from low lunge, back to down dog. As you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Those of you in down dog, either letting the neck relax and the head be super, super heavy, or long through all sides of the neck as you look back towards your navel. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step, or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length. Exhale and fold. On the inhale, stay low. We'll come back to our chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, neutral spine. I'll invite you to bring hands to heart. A light press of the palms as our weight gathers in our feet. Or adding that isometric engagement as we connect with the strength in our center. And then hands by our side. Let's work some fun breath exercises here. I'll invite you to bring two fists just below the navel. On the inhale, we trace a line from the navel up through the heart. We press the palms up to the sky as we exhale out through the mouth. Let's do that 6 times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Halfway done. Inhale. And exhale. Last 2. Inhale. And exhale. Last 1. Inhale. And exhale. And then hands by our side. So swing a little bit forward as our hands find our shoulders. And we'll roll one shoulder front and then the other, warming up the ancillary muscles of respiration. And then taking it the other way. Nice. And back to center. And hands by our side. From here, let's work one hand up, one hand down, and we'll add a little twist each way. So we inhale through center, exhale to prepare. On the inhale, we twist it to one side as we push one hand up, the other hand down. Inhaling through center, other hand up, other hand down. And we'll do 6 of these. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more each way. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. 1 more each way. Breathing in. Breathing out. breathing in and breathing out. And then hands by our side. Stationary, shooting the hawk to both sides to bring hands to our heart. We're going to turn to one side. As we push out with one hand, we pull back with the other like we're pulling a bow and arrow, inhaling. Exhaling through center and then other side. Exhaling and inhaling. Exhaling and inhaling. Exhaling and inhaling. Exhaling and inhaling. Couple more each way. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more each way. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then hands by our side. Let me step back just a little bit for this one here. We're going to roll down our spine, and we'll do one more breath exercise as we breathe into back body here. So we start with the tuck of the chin, softening the knees as we slowly roll ourselves down. Now when we inhale, make sure you all can see this, we're going to make two fists with the hands as we breathe into back lungs. On the exhale, spinning the palms out as we let back lungs soften. Let's do 6. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last one here. Breathing in. Breathing out. And let's do a roll up here as we tuck the chin. And slowly roll ourselves up. Hands find the hips as we jump our feet in. We can bring hands to heart, either keeping that light press of the thumb against the sternum as our weight collects in our feet, or adding that isometric engagement, elbows wide, shoulders engaged, a tuck of the tail, a tuck of the chin, as we find that iron rod in the very center of ourselves. And hands by our side. And just so you all know, the iron rod is a metaphor for inner strength. There's no actual iron rod in there. Maybe there is. I actually had a friend who was in a car accident. They put an iron rod in his back. He was a little stiff. And you know who I'm talking about. Moving towards tree pose here. Hands find the hips. We shift weight under right foot. Left foot gets light. Either finding a kickstand tree, bringing foot onto calf, or bring that foot onto our thigh. From here we can bring hands onto our hips. Whoops. You can always back off to calf tree or kickstand tree. From here we can bring hands to heart. Maybe we stretch those hands high to the sky. From here let's find parallel arms, the palms face back. Let me give you, so you can see Catherine's lovely face here. Let's take a little twist towards that bent front leg. Back through center, we'll take a twist away. And just back and forth. We can inhale into the twist. We exhale through center. And inhale the other way. And then back to center. And hands by our side. Let's work a side bend in our tree pose. As we bring right hand up and over, we take a little side bend towards that bent front leg. Inhaling through center, we'll take a side bend away from that front leg. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. One more each way. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, and then back to center as hands find our heart. From here, let's pretend like we're lifting weights. We've got these cactus arms here. We've already been here a little bit. We'll press our hands up and then back. We'll press our arms up and then back. We'll press our arms up and then back, and then bringing hands to heart And then hands to hips as we lift this left thigh high, leaning a little bit forward as we go long through the leg. For 3 long, smooth breaths in. Long, smooth breaths out. Breath in. Breath out. One more breath, lifting that thigh a little higher. And then we can sweep it on through as we find our warrior 1 prep. Lining up the heels. Squaring the shoulders. Finding that clasp of the fingers behind the head, open heart, open throat. And then stretching those hands high to the sky. And then with the breath, gathering up the energy. Exhaling as we offer it out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. And I'll invite you to hold this shape as we take a big breath into our heart. From here, we can frame front foot with both hands as we spin that back heel up for the lunge. And then back to down dog. As you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Take your time, follow your breath. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to find down dog hip circles. As you circle your hips, inhale. So 1, 2, 3. And then taking those hip circles the other way for 1, 2, and 3. And then back to center. I'll invite you to look between the hands as you mindfully make your way to the front of your mat, your floor. We're not working with mats here. We get this beautiful hardwood floor. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding. I'll invite you to hold the forward fold as we go wide with our feet, toe heeling the feet out. Soft knees as we catch opposite elbows and gently swaying it from side to side. Neck relaxed, head heavy. Now switching across to the elbows, keep swaying side to side. And then coming back center, we can bring our hands onto our thighs for the assist. This chin is tucked as we slowly roll ourselves up. When we get to our stand, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, ears, shoulders, hips over heels as we stand tall and breathe. Let's play with that tree pose on our second side as we shift weight onto left foot. Make sure y'all can see me. So we can find that kickstand tree, great place to work, toes are down. The heel comes on top of that little ankle knob. Another place to work without assistance is to find the calf tree. If you want to use your hand to adjust the leg, we can bring the foot onto the thigh for thigh tree. Whoops. If you do choose to park that foot on the knee, you want to make sure the knee pushes into the foot as much as the knee, or as much as the foot pushes into the knee. So you don't want to torque that knee. From here we can bring hands to heart, and we can stretch hands high to the sky. Oops. From high hands we can make our arms parallel, the palms face up. We can take a little twist towards that bent front leg, and then away. So we can exhale through center and inhale. And let's do one more each way. Exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, and then back to center. From here, let's work a side bend as we take a side bend towards that bent front leg, and then back to center. And we'll take a side bend the other way. A couple more times each way. It's telling me I have low battery here. I probably should have charged up before class, but whatever. Hopefully it lasts. We got another 10 minutes or so to go. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And then back to center. Let's pretend we're weightlifters here as we find our cactus arms. We push up and down. We push up and down. One more, we push up and down. And then bringing hands to hips. We can lift this right thigh high, the toe points down, either staying here or going long through the leg. And holding for 2 or 3 breaths. Oops. Lifting that leg just a little higher. And then sweeping it on through as we find our warrior one prep. We can steer the hips front. We can steer the shoulders. Finding a clasp with the fingers behind the head, open heart, open throat, and then stretching those hands high to the sky. And with the breath, gathering up the energy, exhaling as we offer it out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out, and holding for a big breath into your heart. Again, I'll invite you to, anytime you can wiggle those fingers, why not? Keeping our hands supple. And then from this place, framing front foot with both hands as we spin the back heel left for the lunge, and then making your way back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. And wherever you choose to work, finding your even breath, the Samarvriti. Vritti, the French word for wave is vague, so it's a Sanskrit word, it's kind of wave, so the breath is like waves. So you want to have similar waves, your in-breath, similar amplitude, out-breath, similar amplitude. The Samarvriti, the same breath. From down dog, long split breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding. On the inhale, let's toe heel our feet wide or just stepping the feet wide as we soften the knees and catch opposite elbows. And gently swaying it from side to side. Now switching the cross of the elbows, keep swaying side to side. And then back to center, a tuck of the chin, hands find the thighs as we masterfully roll ourselves up. From here we can step or jump it in thin like a pin to challenge your balance as hands find the heart. And then a light press of the thumb against the sternum as we line up each finger. Coming back to our breath. And then if you choose, adding that isometric engagement as we find that iron rod is metaphorical in the very center of ourselves. And then hands by our side. From here, let's step or jump it out nice and wide. We'll look a little bit sideways on the frame here as we angle out the feet. And let's rock it into half squat as hands find the hips. And we take it on down. We can bring knees over heels in our half squat as elbows find the inner thighs, hands find the heart. And then keep rocking it from side to side. Just getting into those hips. They say sitting is the new smoking, and a squat is the new nicotine patch here. So if you've been sitting a lot, try to find a squat. Make sure your knees love it. Don't go to a place where your knees don't want to go. And then from our half squat, let's find a cross-legged sit on the floor. Make sure we can be seen here. As we sit cross-legged on the floor, I'll invite you to bring your hands onto your knees, pulling back with your hands to sit up a little straighter, a little taller. A slight tuck of the chin as we bring our attention back inward. From here, let's find a twist to each side, left hand by left hip. Right hand catches the top of the thigh. Let an inhale, grow your spine tall. And then finding a twist as you look over your back shoulder. With every inhale, growing that spine longer. With every exhale, finding a little more twist. Now letting your inhale bring you through center. Right hand by right hip. Left hand catches the top of the thigh. Let it inhale, grow your spine tall. And then finding your twist as you look over your back shoulder. Again, with every inhale, sitting up taller. With every exhale, finding a little more twist. Now letting your inhale bring you through center. And let's switch across the legs. Different ways to do that. If you want to work with a little core engagement, we can press into the hands to lift the hips up. And then switching the cross with the legs in the air. From here, let's take a twist to the left. Left hand down, right hand catches the thigh. Let it inhale, grow your spine tall. And then finding your twist as you look over back shoulder. Now letting your inhale bring you through center. We'll twist it the other way. Inhaling. And exhaling. Breathing in. And breathing out. And then letting your inhale bring you back. Center. Let's find two long legs in front. Let's give our knees a little love and consideration with a hand on each side. Fingers find the back of the knee. And then we can give that kneecap a little wiggle as we encourage more circulation, more prana, more life force in our knees. Other side, two hands on either side of the knee. Fingers find the back of the knee. And then giving that kneecap a little wiggle. From here, let's come down onto our backs with a long, slow roll down. Make sure we got lots of room so we can find a full body stretch when we get down. Slowly laying each vertebrae down as if we're laying pearls onto a cushion. Slow, slow, slow. Finding a full body stretch as we stretch those arms overhead. Big breath in as we point fingers and toes. And then finding your Shavasana as you sweep your hands by your side. Giving your armpits and inner thighs lots of room to breathe. Doing whatever else is right and good for you as we rest and breathe on the floor. As we hold our Shavasana, feeling the front plane of the body heavying into back plane, both planes of the body heavying into the floor. Those of you at home certainly feeling free to hold your Shavasana as long as you'd like. For the purposes of this pop-up yoga class, 45 minutes, ending at 6. I'm going to ring these bells 3 times. I invite you to hear the striking of the tone, the duration of the tone, the diminution of the tone, and then most importantly, the silence after. Those of you at home feeling free to stay right where you are. Here in this room, I'll invite you to invite more prana, more life force into your bodies as you wiggle your fingers and toes. Now inviting that prana in towards center as we gently circle our wrists and our ankles. And now drawing one knee at a time in towards your heart for Apanasana as our hands catch our shins. And then using your thighs to gently massage your center of balance as you gently lift and lower the low back and hips. Now taking it side to side as we massage our low backs.
And then rolling onto your right side, stretching that right arm long, letting it serve as a cushion for the head. As we share a long, slow breath here on the floor. I'll invite you to let your breath sigh out through your mouth. Softening your shoulders, that's it. Relaxing your jaw. Softening the corners of your eyes. And then pressing into your hands as we come up to reclaim that tall sit. As we sit, I'll invite you to bring your hands onto your knees, pulling back with the hands to sit up a little straighter, a little taller. A slight tuck of the chin. As 5 fingers of one hand find the floor, the palm of the other hand faces the sky. So we're grounded through 5 fingers. We're open to possibility as that palm faces up to the sky. From here, a slight tuck of the chin. Ending our practice as we started, just watching as our breath flows in and as our breath flows out. From this place of breath awareness, I invite you to bring your hands to your heart and bow as you thank yourself for practicing yoga and as we offer our practice out to each other and to the world. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you all for practicing with us. Thank you, Kathy. Again, it was her birthday yesterday. Super fun times. Anyway, we'll see you next week. And stay tuned to my Facebook page for the various schedules. And have namaste sounds just like have a nice day. So have a nice day, have a nice night. Have a great weekend.